If you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification. Okay student, I welcome you to lecture 40 of this switchgear protection series. So we are in the last part of the transformer protection. So today's topic is inter-turn faults. Inter-turn faults means we have discussed in faults in transformer lines also. You have primary winding, you have secondary winding. So some of the winding gets shorted. So ultimately the original turn was 3, but as this is shorted, you have only 1 turn, and then finally you have 2 turn. So it is reduced, the number is reduced, so turn gets reduced. So that's it, inter-turn fault. So these occurs due to the failure of insulation of short circuit between two adjacent turns of the winding. So they two get short circuited. So eventually you lost some turns, so number of turn get reduced. Now if it is a step down transformer, so what happens in step down? Step down, your secondary turn will be less. So an inter-turn fault will lead to a high current in the secondary, but in the primary it will be so small, because as your secondary is already, suppose there are 10 windings. Now in the secondary, suppose you have 5 windings. Now due to this inter-turn fault, it reduced to 2 or 3, whatever. So for this reason, originally the current is already high here, I is high here, because in the turn ratio, if turn is small, that means current is high, voltage is small, that means current is high. Now you have reduced it to further 2, so current will be more increased. So here already turn was low, now if you lose another turn, so current will be aggressively high, current will be more high. So but here as the ratio, if you see the ratio, this is already low current side, so the change in current will be also low here, because here number of turns is more. So you can feel here, suppose this is 10:5, that means your current will be here 10 and here current will be 5. So if it increase to 12, here it will increase to only 6. So he can change, here is increased to only 1 and here it is increased 2 ampere. So the primary current will be less. So percentage bias differential protection will not work, because both side it is increased. So in differential protection it will not detect, because differential takes the difference between the increase between these two. So it will not get affected. It will not get detected by the differential fault relay. Your overcurrent will also may not detect it, because overcurrent, if your overcurrent is connected to your primary, all the overcurrent relates, that is the backup protection for transformer. If it is connected in the primary side, because primary has increased very less, so overcurrent may not detect it also. So what is the solution now? So the solution is to detect this fault, and this will not be detected by restricted earth fault, because restricted earth fault is only restricted for the delta only, that the fault is in star side only. So and it is not a ground fault, that means the summation will be always 0. The restricted earth fault, if there is a when restricted earth fault occurs, when the sum of all 3 phases is not equal to 0, but here it will be 0, but it will be little bit more IA, particular a phase. So it ultimately addition will be 0, because KCL will hold true. So the idea is to detect a non-electric means. This is electric, I think the handwriting you make it correct. This is electric. Non-electric means, as this leads to heating or hotspot in the core, because if your current is increased more than the rated current, then there will be constant heating. Though it is small, but it will be heating. It will be constantly hitting the transformer, and ultimately you will get hotspot in the core, which will further degrade the insulation, and day by day the insulation will degrade in large transformer. So the idea is, now okay, next there is another term which is known as incipient faults. These faults are generally those faults which are at the beginning they are very slow, but they developed into severe fault, like is your inter-turn fault or winding to core fault. These are small in quantity, but they gradually increases or gradually degrades the transformer. These are known as incipient faults. So the idea is to use a Buchholz relay. Now what is Buchholz relay? It's a mechanical device, not an electrical mean of protection. What is the phenomena? As the oil gets heated, the gases are liberated from the oil, which builds up oil pressure. As the gas forms, it will build the pressure inside the tank. So the oil will rush to the conservator. So to release the pressure, oil will expand and it will go to the conservator. And in the path we use that Buchholz relay. In the drawing you will see a van is placed. So here you can see the drawing. This is the Buchholz relay. You can see from the tank this is the tank and this is the conservator in the path. If there is a pressure increase here, so the oil will try to go this side. So in the path we are using this. So the idea is to measure this or get the anything from this flow. If the flow is excessively high, then you think something wrong is happened inside. So the idea is implemented there. And how this idea is implemented, this is the idea how it is implemented. You can see this is the Buchholz relay. If I zoom it, then this is the Buchholz relay. This entire thing, this becomes your Buchholz relay. So this is the passage through on which it is means mounted. So there is a valve, it is connected. So if your oil pressure is very high, if it is going at a high speed, then this will rotate back, this will hit it, and it will touch this contact, trip contact, and ultimately your transformer will trip. That will be connected to trip circuit, to circuit breaker, it will be tripped if the pressure is crossing particular limit. Now there is one more thing, this is alarm. Alarm is, suppose there is a oil leakage, oil level is falling, but oil leakage is not a event that you need to take prompt action. It is not a event, but you need to take action, but it is not that you have to trip at that particular moment only. You can fill the oil after some time. So that's why it is connected to alarm. If the oil level reduces, then this float will come down. Once it comes down, it will hit the trip. It will hit the contact, but it is not generally connected to trip. It is connected to alarm to give indication or give alarm to the operator that your oil level is falling. You do something. Not necessarily instantly you have to do it. You can do it at later time. You can schedule it. So that's why it is known as alarm. So that is written in the theory. A van is placed in the path of the surge oil, placed in the surge of the oil between transformer and conservator and connected with a set of trip contacts. In case of leakage of oil, the float sinks. This was the van for trip contact, and this was due to alarm. Float sinks and causing the contact to close. But as it does not need immediate tripping, which one? Oil leakage does not need immediate tripping. Normally these contacts are wired to an alarm. So this is connected to alarm, not directly tripping. So this one is for trip. If their oil flow level or velocity of oil is very high, then it will directly trip. If level is decreasing, then it will get alarm. Okay. So if this is done, Buchholz relay, the next thing is to protection against overfluxing. Overflux. So in transformer, your V is equal to 4.44 phi Fn. So what is the value of phi? V by 4.44 Fn. 4.44 constant, N is also constant. So the variable is V by F. So you have seen overfluxing is undesirable, because due to overfluxing your core gets saturated. As it's saturated, the heating of the core will induce a high core loss, and which will also induce a high inrush current. So these are all undesirable. So to safeguard this, what is the idea? You constantly measure this ratio V by I. If V increased, your F should be increased. If V is decreased, F should be decreased. So someone should measure this ratio. What is the ratio between V and F? So that's why it is known as volt-hertz relay. Volt-hertz relay. Hertz for frequency. So what does it do? It keeps on sensing every time the voltage ratio, V by F ratio of the transformer, and issues trip if it crosses a limit. Limit can be in upper side, lower side. You can also use it for fluxing, overfluxing and underfluxing also. Low fluxing also you can do it. So you can use it for over limit or lower limit. In a nutshell, if we close down the entire transformer protection in a single snapshot, what are the faults and what are the protection scheme we have used? There are phase faults and ground faults, which are severe faults. For these, severe means instantly we take care of that. Okay, in a nutshell, if we want to go for a snapshots of the world, what was the overall transformer protection? So there are phase fault and ground fault. We have used percentage bias differential with harmonic restraint, which is your primary protection. And if it fails, then your overcurrent relay will use at a backup protection. Winding to core loss, which is a relatively low in magnitude, that is been detected by restricted earth fault relay. Inter-turn faults, which is very small at the beginning. Incipient fault, for that we have Buchholz relay. Oil leakage, we are also Buchholz relays. Overflux, we are using volt-hertz relay. And overload is not also a fault, because excessive current is flowing. Suppose load is very high, there is no fault inside the transformer, but current is crossing the rated current, then you have overcurrent relay to sense that one, and it will trip it. So with this we conclude the protection of the transformer here. If you like the video, then press the like button and please give your valuable comments in the comment section.